Hello and good morning to all my dear Clarence. I hope you all are safe. Today we'll continue with the lesson Science and Technology. In the previous video we have studied about the Indian Atomic Energy Commission, how Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru wanted to nurture scientific temper in our country in order to progress, that the nation should progress. That is why he had put up this idea. And Dr. Homi Bhabha, who was appointed as the first chairman commission, his objective was to produce electricity from atomic energy and also to increase the food grains and food grains last longer, to achieve nanotechnology, to study of atoms and molecules. That is why there were many research which was done at different stations like Tarapur and at also Kalpakkam in Tamil Nadu. Factories manufacturing heavy water needed for generation of atomic power was also set up at Vadodara, Ralcher, Tuticorin, Corin and Kota. Heavy water board project was also made. Then Dhruv's nuclear reactor was also a successful research, that was also for the study of industry, agriculture and medicines. Then NPCIL also was we made a study of NPCIL, that is the company which was used to generate electricity from atomic energy. To make in That was the objective, was to make generate safe, cheap and environmental profitable, self sufficient for the country. Then we had the first nuclear test at Pokhran, and we also had a second nuclear test under the guidance of Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Let us study about the missile development. The first missile, that is Prithvi. In 1988, India successfully tested the missile Prithvi, and 1989 the missile Agni. The entire world took note of India's program developing nuclear missile indigenously. That means we had made this missile by ourselves and no taking any help, that is made in India. That is why the whole world was looking at our achievement and was shocked. Integrated Guided Missile Development Program, that is IGMDP, was conceived by and carried out under the leadership of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Defense Research and Development Organization undertook the task of building the missile. So India did a research by themselves for the further study, and the research was done by DRDO. Then Prithvi 1, a missile, Prithvi 1, a surface to ballistic missile was given to the army. Prithvi 2 was given to the Air Force, while the Prithvi 3 was given to the Navy. Prithvi had the capacity to carry nuclear weapons of 500 to 1000 kilogram. That means this missile had the capacity to carry the nuclear weapons of 500 to 1000 kilograms of nuclear weapons. They could travel a distance of 150 to 300 kilometers due to the nuclear ballistic missile. Now Miss Prithvi was given, Prithvi 1 was given to the army, Prithvi 2 was given to the Air Force, and Prithvi 3 was given to the Navy. So like this, the missile was given to the defense in order to save our country from any war, and we are ready for anything. Then comes and that is why it is he is named as a Missile Man of India, because his ideas and innovation made the country progress a lot. At least in science and technology, you talk about researches in DRDO, which was undertaken by the Missile Man of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Then we come to the next missile, that is called as Agni. In order that the China and Pakistan get an idea of India's missile strength and India's border remains secure, Agni 2 was also tested. This military missile had a range of 700 kilograms kilometers. Sorry, I'm so sorry. It had a range of 700 kilometers. Now Prithvi, you talk about we spoke about Prithvi, now we talk about Agni. In order so that the China and Pakistan get an idea how we are secure at our borders, Agni 1 was tested. Then the military missile had a range of we just increase our ranges from 300 kilometers to 700 kilometers. Then later Agni 2 was and Agni 3 was also produced. In this Agni was like if we set a target at any cities of China or any city of Pakistan, then the missile would directly go at that place and fall. So that is how we made the world aware, and the world came to know about our power through the Prithvi and Agni missile. Akash missile, that is Akash and Nag missile. Nag. In the year 1990, the missile Akash was developed to fire from land into the air. So this missile was made to fire from the land to the air. This missile had a capacity to carry 720 kilograms explosive at a supersonic speed and a range of 300 kilometers. The missile Nag was made in order to destroy the tank of the enemy. If it is one of the it was one of the like fire and forget types, like you set the target, okay, you set the target and keep and fire and you forget about it, okay, it will directly go to the place you have located or wherever you have targeted. So it is like fire and forget types. So India has military became secure due to this production of missile. So military became, see, you when you have such missile, you get the confidence is seen in the faces of the defense people, the military, the army, the navy. They get the confidence, if there is an attack from any enemies, then we are also ready with our missiles, and that is how we show our achievement too. So after this missile, that is Akash and Nag missile, so this was like destroying the tanks of the enemies. This is like Nag. So we had to produce, and then the enemy were well aware of it, and so we are also ready so that if these people attack on us, we are also ready with our arms and ammunitions, and we are also ready with our missiles. Then we talk about space research. In the year 1961, India National Committee for Space Research launched India's first research rocket at Tumba Equatorial Launch Center in Tumba in the state of Kerala. In 1969, indigenously built rocket Rohini 75 was successfully launched. The next stage was the successful launch of the first Indian satellite, Aryabhatta. Aryabhatta is named after the mathematicians in the year 1975 with the help of the Soviet Union. So we made our so this was see, Rohini was successfully launched, which was made in India, and then it was also the Aryabhatta, where we took help from the Soviet Union in the year 1975. This success proved that India scientists can indigenously build and launch a satellite. India's scientists were confident that they could acquire the technology for sending a message from the Earth station to access the working of the satellite. So we became confident with our research that we can build a spacecraft on our own, and Indian scientists were confident that they can also launch a satellite with them, which is totally made in India, and we can keep our things confidential also. So this was technology was sending a message from the Earth station to access the working of the satellite. See. Then we talk about ISRO. ISRO, that is Indian Space Research Organization. After the success of the basic program in the space research and rocket related projects, Indian Space Research Organization was established on 15th of August 1969 in order to carry out further space research. So we had a program in order to have further researches. ISRO was set up on 15th of August 1969. The headquarters of ISRO was at Bengaluru, whereas the activated space station was at Sriharikota in Andhra Pradesh for launching our satellites in space. So the main headquarter is at Bengaluru, and when you launch the satellite that is launching our satellites in space is from Sriharikota, which is situated at Andhra Pradesh. So this is how we were making one step at a time. This is Bhaskar 1. Can we see India launched a remote sensing experimental satellite Bhaskar 1 from the Soviet Union in the year 1979 in order to observe various things on the surface of the earth by remote sensing technology. This remote sensing technology would be useful for India's development by regarding water bodies, minerals deposits, and forecasting weather. The photographs taken with the help of the technology about the bubbles of the earth, environment, and forest were important. Another area in which the information from the satellites were useful was oceanography. In the year 1981, Bhaskar 2 was launched from Soviet Union. To know about the resources, more about resources, the plans for a future, to think about the future. So this was Bhaskar 1 was also. Bhaskar 1 was launched with from Soviet Union. So we had this is remote sensing technology where it is useful for the water bodies to study of water bodies, the mineral deposits, how much is the deposits, and for the forecasting, like to study about the cyclone or about the rain, about any natural disaster which can harm, that is to in order. So cyclone which is already informed, they inform us about the cyclone and everything well in advance. So because of this satellites which helps us to understand in before about the disaster, through this study we can inform, and it is also used to gather information about the ocean, the study of the ocean. So that is how Bhaskar 1 was is useful, and then Bhaskar 2 was also launched from Soviet Union. Then you talk about Apple Ariane passenger payload experiment, the first completely indigenously built satellite by ISRO in India. So this is the first satellite which was made completely by Indians. It is made completely in India. Everything was made in India. Apple was launched on 19th of June 1981 from the French Guiana. It's an island which is ruled by the France, by the French. Then Apple was beneficial in the field of education. The objective of providing emergency telecommunication services were also successful. So now Apple was also successful. This was helped in the field of education and providing emergency telecommunication services was also successful. So Apple was also launched on 19th of June 1981 from the French island, that is Guyana, which was very helpful and which was completely made in India. See, this is what the satellite looks like. This is how the satellite looks like. In the Indian national satellite INSAT. This was INSAT. In August 1983, the satellite INSAT 1B was launched in space. Because of this satellite, a major revolution came about in the area of telecommunication, television, radio, weather forecasting, and space research in India. Due to the INSAT, 20, 207 Akashwani and radio stations could be connected to each other. This mechanism was also useful for the search and the rescue of people caught in some disasters. Okay, caught in some disasters like shipwreck or airplane crash, for forecasting weather, to look for and follow cyclone or storms in the field of telemedicines and educational institutions. So this was very useful. See, if there is a natural disaster, to rescue people, so this satellite was used where people are lost the signal, or there's a shipwreck, or the airplane crash. Through this we could also understand, and also understand the study of cyclone and storm, from where it is reached, and how bad it is going to hit the country, or what precautions to be taken, and which all places to be taken care of. Then see the people of Akashwani radio station, which where they could connect Akashwani with the radio stations and connect it to each other, which is very useful. The telemedicine services enable the population of remote areas to get advice and treatment from expert doctors. Public primary health centers in villages have been connected with super specialty hospitals through INSEN. So these are especially for the remote areas also. Remote areas, people are not privileged to get all the facilities. That is why this treatment from the expert doctors, which will be given, which is connected to the super special hospitals, which is through INSAN, public, especially public primary health centers, which is in the villages. Then technological progress. A factory manufacturing railway engines, Chitranjan locomotive works, was set up at Chitranjan in Bharwar district in West Bengal. Steam engines, uh, steam engines, electric engines, and engines running on diesels were manufactured here. The first diesel engine was manufactured at the diesel locomotive work at Varanasi. India started exporting railway engines to Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Tanzania, and Vietnam. So we made up steam engines, and which were working on diesels, which manufactured here. The first diesel engine was also manufactured at Varanasi. We started exporting this railway engines to Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Tanzania, and Vietnam. I'll continue this teleservices in the next video. Till then, kindly go through the lesson.